welcome back again to the Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Starting lineup, I'm Tony Curry, Kip Keefer, the legend. We're, of course, going to go to the Legend Cave. We got the Kip Perspective. We got Bone Fragments. And, gentlemen, we are 6 weeks away from college football.
Oh, man, I can't
6
wait.
weeks away. It's going to be unbelievable.
Cannot wait.
It's going to be unbelievable. And, of course,
awesome.
that opening weekend, not too good, but it's still college football, right?
Well, I mean, there's, LSU, Clemson, Ohio State, Texas, which I'm going to talk about a little bit in Kip Perspective, giving you a sneak preview of a feature that's coming up this year. I mean, there's some good matchups that first week, around the country. It's not all bad, but those are some pretty high-profile games right off the bat.
UAB's got Illinois that opening weekend.
Oh, really?
Alex Morton has been thrown into the fire right away. I threw a question out to you earlier in this week. Who do you think lasts longer at their respected jobs? Would that be Dabo Swinney or Kalen DeBoer, legend?
Oh, man, that's a hard one right there because who else would Clemson go get to replace Dabo? I mean, ain't that about as good as Clemson can do?
I'm going to go through the top 10 coaches in college football. It's switched around. We have a new number one going into the 2026 season. I don't agree with it, but we'll get into it in Bone Fragments. And Dabo Swinney is not on that list for the first time since he got to Clemson. He's won 2 national titles, 9 conference championships, and the guy's getting no respect. And again, it's one of those situations where do you let him kind of go out the way he wants to go out? He's going to have to change his ways a little bit, but this is not the same guy that won 2 national titles.
No, he didn't have the same staff, and I've maintained the day that he lost Venables, things kind of changed there.
Sure did.
I think he was really the architect. Those Clemson teams that succeeded so successfully were so good defensively, and they just are not anymore. And maybe they got to find that magic back. I'm not sure about Dabo and Clemson, but I will say this, and I told you this on our podcast earlier this week, this is the lowest expectations that ever have been for Dabo in almost his whole entire tenure at Clemson. And sometimes that's just what you need to kind of take the pressure off.
And Legend really kind of a make or break here for a lot of coaches in that if you make the playoffs this year, you can still hang that banner, right? Because you're one of 12. That's good.
Right.
Next season, you go to 24. If you don't make the playoffs,
everybody makes it. Yeah.
Then who cares? I mean, if you're making the 24 playoff, good for you. But you got to make that final 12. You're Kalen DeBoer, correct?
Yeah, I think DeBoer has to make the playoffs. Not only does he have to make the playoffs, he has to do something in the playoffs, Tony. Just making the playoffs ain't good enough at Alabama. I'm sorry.
We talked so much about the quarterback situation last year and how difficult it was to actually pick a Heisman Trophy hopeful. Archie Manning was right there because we had the name. We know who he is, despite the fact it was his first year, because a lot of guys were transferring. We didn't know who was who. This year, everyone's kind of set in their place. But what's really amazing are the coaching staffs. You don't need to be an X's and O guy anymore. You don't need to be a great recruiter anymore. The transfer portal's moved. The NIL thing's changed. And what you need to do, though, is you need to have a lot of that cash, Legend. A lot of that cash you've been talking about. It's all about the money, money, money. And that's what college football is all about.
Yeah, it's about the Dodgers and the Yankees, except it's about the teams in college football that has the money to play like the Dodgers and the Yankees.
By the way, the Yankees have not won a championship in 30 years.
Only because of stupid management, though. Not
Exactly.
Not because of money, but because of stupid management.
We've nailed it right there. You can spend all the money you want, but you better put together the right roster.
Texas.
But the LA Dodgers have. Yeah. And then we got little teams like Baltimore Orioles and our Cincinnati Reds, and we both suck. And I can't figure out who I'm supposed to root for anymore.
Bad management.
And my Braves are quickly joining you.
Bad management.
This is the Birmingham Racecourse Casino starting lineup of the fantastic show. 6 weeks away from right now, we will be kicking off college football at 11 o'clock at the top of the hour. We're on every Saturday for the first 30 minutes before. Tune us in a little early, and you'll get your kicked off big time every Saturday right here on ABC 3340.
The Birmingham Racecourse Casino, where a spin could turn dreams into reality. Meet Sammy F., who just won over $70,000. And Orlando P. hitting the jackpot with a whopping $100,000. Feel the thrill of winning and join the dance of champions.
Woo! I'm a winner! I'm a winner! Woo! I'm a winner! I'm a winner! Woo! And you can be a winner too!
Your chance to be the next big winner is here at the Birmingham Racecourse Casino.
Hey everybody, time for some Kip Perspective, and we're going to go fast today because I want to get in a tape piece of our new friend, Mike Chaldron, author of Agent Confidential. He is getting a lot of mileage out of his chapter in his book, Buyout Island. He's kind of the real estate broker there. He's going to tell you who the hottest prospects to come to Buyout Island are at the end of this Kip Perspective. But I also want to preview a segment I'm going to develop for this coming football season in honor of the great late Leonard's Losers. And in this sequence, I'm going to give you a sneak preview of how that's going to go. And I'm going to focus in on the opening week game. Actually, it's week 2, when Texas and Ohio State square off down in Austin. They played last year, one of the most boring games of the season. But this time you've got a matchup in Austin of a team represented by a 2,000-pound raging beast, a Texas Longhorn steer, against a nut from a tree. This is an actual Ohio Buckeye. This is the fearsome symbol of Ohio State football, and they're not as fearsome now because they've lost 15 draft picks to the NFL. And just saying, I don't think Julian's that good. I don't think he's a top-tier quarterback. We'll find out if I'm right or not. So in the big clash in Austin, Texas, Kip's casualty, the Ohio State Buckeyes. I mentioned a little bit in the Legend Cave, the SEC, out of the top 20 toughest schedules, 16 for 16. Every team in the SEC is in the top 20 for toughest schedule this year. It's not how you play, it's who you play and where you play them. So the SEC is going to have to step it up, get a couple of teams battle-tested, get ready for that big run at the end of the year, get 4 or 5 teams in the playoffs, and maybe the committee won't finagle it this year where the SEC will have a chance. And finally, here is Mike Chaudron, Agent Confidential, Buyout Island, telling you who's on the hot seat to start the year.
It's time for this week's Buyout Island Index, your weekly look at college football coaches who are feeling the most pressure. At number 5, new to the index, Shane Beamer, South Carolina. Early success brought goodwill, but goodwill has an expiration date in the SEC. Another disappointing season, and the pressure starts building quickly. Holding at number 4, Luke Fickell, Wisconsin. He was hired to modernize the Badgers, but the results haven't matched the expectations. Wisconsin needs to take a meaningful step forward this season. Up 1 spot to number 3, Dave Aranda, Baylor. He survived one hot seat cycle before, but patience in college football is never permanent. Baylor must show progress. Up 2 spots to number 2, Mike Locksley, Maryland. Respectability isn't enough anymore. After several solid seasons, expectations have changed, and standing still can feel like falling behind. And holding the number 1 position, Mike Norvell, Florida State. Expectations could not be higher. Every loss will be magnified, every decision scrutinized, and no coach enters this season facing more pressure. That's this week's Buyout Island Index. I'm Mike Chaudron, author of Agent Confidential. Games happen on Saturday. The business of college football happens every other day of the week.
Step back into the groove and then into the Birmingham Racecourse Casino.
Check this out. It's all happening here.
The Birmingham Racecourse Casino is the local place to win.
Good times right here.
Let the Birmingham Racecourse Casino bring the good times to you. The Birmingham Racecourse Casino, where the good times roll.
Where you could be a winner too. Yeah, boy.
Welcome back to Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Starting a lineup, we do have the World Cup tomorrow. A lot of people asking, can I make a bet on that? You sure can. As a matter of fact, Spain is actually favored in that game, minus 157, plus $136 if you like Argentina and Lionel Messi. I think Vegas is begging you to take Spain. Take Spain to win the FIFA Cup 2026. Only 4 coaches now in college football are active and have won a national title. Can you name them? We got Ryan Day. We got Kirby Smart. We got Kirk Cignetti, who just added his name. We got Dabo Sweeney. And because of that, I wanted to go through the top 10 coaches of college football going to 2026. And I'll tell you right now, one of those 4 coaches I just gave you is number 1 on this list. According to 10 USA Today / ESPN writers, reporters who think they know Rip, we might as well go with them. Number 10, Kalen DeBoer is the top 10 coach in college football. Do you agree with that? He did take the Huskies to a national title game in 2023. That's good. He's 20-8 in 2 seasons at Alabama. That's actually number 11. I want to start with number 11. Number 10, Mario Cristobal. I had to get Kalen DeBoer in there. But Mario Cristobal, we'll make them tied for number 10. Mario Cristobal, 5-7, 7-6, 10-3, now 13-3. He is doing something special at Miami. He's actually getting better on the job. We're actually seeing that with him. Kyle Whittingham, 21 seasons at Utah. We know what he did there. And now he comes into this firestorm known as Michigan after Sharon Moore did his little thing on the side there for 2 years. Now we're hearing that Jim Harbaugh was a big-ass cheater the time he was there. Of course, he got beaten 7 times in a row against Ohio State. He had to do something, so evidently he did some videotaping. We're hearing about that. Kyle Whittingham, number 9. Mike Elko from A&M has gone from one of the best defensive coordinators in the country, top 10 college football, went 16-9 in 2 seasons at Duke before landing the A&M job, and he's going to change some things right there. Lane Kiffin, number 7, speaking of elite play callers. Lane Kiffin, of course, is won everywhere he's gone, but can he stay anywhere long enough to actually win a national title? He ain't going to LSU to come in second. I got news for you. Steve Sarkisian of Texas is number 6. He's only won 1 conference championship, but I tell you what, he is a fantastic elite play caller, 93-55 as a head coach. Our top 5, Dan Lanning. Love this guy. Hired as Oregon's head coach. They had the 2022 seasons, 48-8 since then. He's got the quarterback this year coming back. He's got everything he needs. Dante Moore, the ball is in your hands. If Oregon and the Ducks can quack up some great quarterback numbers, Dan Lanning will take home a national title as the 5th best coach in all of college football. Marcus Freeman, Notre Dame. He's done fantastic work as well. Of course, lucky enough that Brian Kelly was a schmutz and went to LSU. He actually picked that job up, but he could probably stay at Notre Dame for as long as he wants because he's a good Catholic kid. Ryan Day. Still don't quite get Ryan Day. He finally broke that streak against Michigan. He did win a national title, but even people that I know that went to college there, including my brother and sister who live in Delaware right outside Ohio State and Columbus, they hate the beard. Get rid of him. They're like, what are we supposed to do with this guy? He won a national title, but they don't think he's going to win another one. Coming in number 2, Kirby Smart is the 2nd best coach in college football. He's got his quarterback coming year. He's got both lines coming back, arguably one of the best programs in SEC history this year. He's going to be unbelievable. Of course, he's won 2 national titles and 4 SEC titles under Smart. That means that Kirk Cignetti, Indiana, according to writers and reporters, is already the number 1 coach in college football. Are you kidding me? He wouldn't even be considered for the list. He was at James Madison, for God's sakes, and all of a sudden this guy is 27-2 at Indiana. Did you hear that? He's 27-2 at Indiana with a Big Ten title and a national title. Why shouldn't he be number 1 coach in college football? Prove us wrong. We'll see what happens. The Big Ten title, the first in 1967 for the Indiana Hoosiers. And again, because that alumni association, man, over 800,000 strong. That's 4 times what Alabama has. Indiana has got that money, and I know the legend loves that. Your number 1 coach in college football this season is Kirk Cignetti. I want to thank our fine folks at the Woodhouse Day Spa, birmingham.woodhousespas.com, birmingham.woodhousespas.com. Fantastic work. Mother's Day, Father's Day, graduation, weddings, you name it. If you want to go down and get yourself a fantastic massage, facial, pedicure, manicure, Woodhouse Day Spa is the place to go. At Stuart Rome will take care of you. And, of course, our good friends at Sasquatch Toys and Comics, over 300,000 comics. They got everything from Legos, Star Wars stuff still in the box. I've got some of my autographed stuff down there in consignment. You go down there and see what some of the Tone the Bones collection looks like. It's unbelievable. Check out Sasquatch Toys and Comics right there, Citation Lane in Homewood, Sasquatch Toys and Comics. And that is another Bone Fragments right here on the Birmingham Racecourse Casino starting lineup.
Hey, it's the legend, the 6-time Paul Feinbaum Caller of the Year here in the Legend Cave. And as you notice, we looking mighty sporty today, Kip Keefer. What about these jackets? We looking like Wide World of Sports, brother.
In honor of Jim McKay, spanning the SEC for the greatest storylines. This, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat.
Man, Kip Keefer Sports, I wanted y'all to see the jackets. because this week we are making history here at Kip Keefer Sports. We are headed to Tampa, Florida for our first SEC Media Days. How does it feel to become big time, Kip Keefer Sports? How does it feel, brother?
Well, it's a big step forward for us in the credibility department that we're starting to get acknowledged as a legitimate sports force in this market and throughout the whole Southeastern Conference. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Not going down there with great expectations, just going to be part of something that really is the official kickoff to football season, which kind of makes our mission complete.
Yes, going to SEC Media Days. And as you see, ladies and gentlemen, the legend looking sporty. Legend looking sporty. What's going on?
Legend has some swag
Got
going
some
to town.
swag going on. I mean, even Tony Curry was impressed with me today. I tell you, I'm moving up. Like Thomas Jefferson, I'm moving up. Hey, I'm looking forward to Tampa. What are some of the big stories you're looking forward to? One of them has to be, will the SEC continue to lose to the Big Ten? Or is this the year the SEC finally rises up, Kip?
Well, you know what I say, Legend? It's not how you play or how you potentially are going to play. It's who you play and where you play. ESPN ran an AI sequence yesterday. The 20 hardest schedules in the country. All 16 SEC teams are in the top 20 for toughest schedules.
Man, the SEC once again, tough, top to bottom. But when you look at the top, in the SEC, Kip, I don't care how good the conference is so much as I care about, can the conference win a championship? Can we win a championship?
Well, there's 5 or 6 teams that you have to say absolutely they can. And it starts with Georgia and Texas, of course, but I'm not counting out who knows what Lane Kiffin's going to have at LSU. Texas A&M's got almost their whole cast back that almost got to the promised land, getting the playoffs last year. And let's not sleep on some of the other contenders as well. So you've got a good list, including the Alabama Crimson Tide. You say there's a lot of ifs, but if those ifs are positive, you could have an exciting season.
On 3 Sports reporting this week that it looks like Keelan Russell is the leading candidate for the quarterback job at Alabama. I feel like this is the right choice. What is your view on it?
Yeah, I mean, you don't recruit a 5-star who's won 2 of the highest class state championships in the state of Texas, which is the quarterback heaven. All the great quarterbacks in college seem to come out of Texas. You don't have him standing on the sideline a second straight year holding a clipboard.
Coach DeBoer, year 3. Coach Saban won a championship in year 3. The pressure is on. Can Alabama afford another 4-loss season?
No, I think if he loses 3 and maybe gets to the playoffs, I think people will be happy enough with that. I know you had expressed the opinion that you'll have some patience if they just keep showing steps forward. But it's about time in this day and age, and only a 12-team playoff doesn't really play into his hands. But I think they need to make the playoffs for people to think this is a successful season.
Here in Birmingham, we have some Auburn fans. Right quick, does Auburn have any opportunity of making a bowl this year?
Oh, I think so. Again, it's who you play, and their schedule, number 13 in the country, it's pretty darn tough. But I like what Golish is doing, and Byron Brown is a difference maker.
Hey, look at us, baby. We headed to SEC Media Days, game time, right here, the starting lineup. Hey, we on the TV, we on the radio, and we in Tampa, baby. Big time in Kip Keefer Sports. We'll be right back on the starting lineup from the Legend Cave, baby.
The Birmingham Racecourse Casino turns dreams into reality. Like Roger M., who just won over $51,000. And Rebecca, celebrating a life-changing jackpot of $160,000. You could be the next to dance the Icky Shuffle with a big win.
Woo! I'm a winner! I'm a winner! Woo! I'm a winner! I'm a winner! Woo! And you can be a winner too!
Don't miss your chance to be our next big winner at the Birmingham Racecourse Casino.
Hey, it's Kip Keefer back again for another edition of the Vegas Heaters. I am a longtime sports bettor and sports betting writer, along with sports editor of Greenspun Media Group, which includes Las Vegas Sun and Las Vegas Weekly. It's getting to be about that time of the year where we will be all football going forward. But until then, you're going to have to bear with me for one more week because we are wrapping up our journey here on the Vegas Heaters of handicapping the World Cup. All summer, come to you time and time again, breaking down some of the things. Not every week, but I think 3 or 4 times now. Last week didn't go so well. Both game bets I gave out lost. However, I would gladly sacrifice those for having Argentina in the final tomorrow. Argentina, Spain, of course, for World Cup supremacy. If you go back to the beginning of, even before the tournament started, Argentina was my lowest future bet. I think they were the mostly fourth. You could get them as far as 5th choice. We had 12-1, and here we are, hopefully about to see a back-to-back, and if they can beat Spain on Sunday. As far as how I'm handicapping the game, I am in a tough one here because Spain, of course, the favorite. I don't necessarily agree. I have this really close to 50-50. I think Argentina kind of is getting a bad rap here because, you know, they're winning all these miracle games at the end. Everyone's kind of saying, oh, this team doesn't deserve it. They're getting all the breaks. FIFA wants them to win. And while, yes, they have played their best at the end, they probably deserve to lose one of these games. Their underlying numbers are still really strong. I still really think talent-wise, Spain isn't leaps and bounds better than them. And some of Spain's best players, including Yamal, of course, not 100% right now. So I really think this is close. I show value on Argentina. However, that big future price, 12-1, I can't possibly bet on them. One way I will go with this, I think this is going to be really low scoring. I know Argentina has given up some goals, but they've just been spectacular plays, like the England game in the semifinals at Mercedes-Benz in Atlanta. What a game, by the way. And you saw England just an amazing pass, get up that 1-0 lead. And then you saw, speaking of football, it's just, I know American sports fans aren't totally into soccer, but how much could you relate to seeing that we're going to see so much of this in football season? A team takes a big lead, and in soccer, I think 1-0 is considered a big lead. Then you just see the coach start running the ball, trying to run the timeout. How often do we see that go against them? That's what England tried to do. They tried to park the bus, play back. If you're going to give Lionel Messi that room, the play he made to go up 2-1, Argentina just has too much talent for that. So that was crazy to see Argentina getting on to the final. I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do. It's been a really strong World Cup financially, and I'm doing really well game to games, but as I've documented here and talked about so many times, it has been a rough run of futures, including we get right here to the end lately these last 6 months, and I just cannot get one through. So many second places, so as much as I try to be a numbers guy, try to be more analytically based, I try to silence my emotions, which I still might end up doing here, but there is a little bit of nagging at me that maybe I hedge here and get some money out. It is tough to hedge, however, with Spain, such a big favorite. One way I have thought about is maybe taking the Spain double chance, which would mean Spain either to win or draw in the 90 minutes. There, if that happens, we could hope for the draw and that Argentina can win in extra times. I do think this probably goes to extra time. I think it's going to be really close. I think it's going to be like a 0-0 game, 1-0 game. So Spain, double chance, maybe the way I'm leaning if I'm going to hedge right now, but that's really tough because they're like minus 275 there. So I'm going to have to put forth a big bet to make that work. And then if Argentina does just roll and win, then that greatly cuts into my profit margins for that 12-1 bet. So it's going to be interesting to watch. I do, honestly, in my heart of hearts, I thought Argentina would not beat France again if that was the matchup for the second year in a row in the championship. Spain gets it done over France. I really thought Argentina would beat Spain. So my heart says Argentina wins. My mind says Argentina wins. We're going to hope to get that 12-1 in. Honestly, today's game I have much stronger feeling for France and England. I love both the side and the total in this game. I like France to win. I think a lot of times no one cares about these third place games, including the players. There's just not the same level of, it's just hard to get up for, trying to win a bronze medal. And I don't think there's such strong scouting going into these games, but I think France-England, the rivalry, it'll be a little bit more for France here. And the one things I love in these third place games, I know this is not scientific, not how I usually do things, but I really just think there are more goals. I do not think people are going to be dotting their I's and crossing their T's as far as it comes to defense in a third place game. So I like both teams to score. I like both teams not to score. Both teams to score no in the Argentina game. I think I laid minus 118. In this game, I laid, I think, minus 185 that both teams will score. I just think a lot of goals. You could play the over 2. I just decided to go with both teams to score. I found a better off-market price there. But you could go with the over 3, even over 3.5 at plus money. I think it's a high-scoring game that France ends up winning. So we're going to get to American football starting next week, I promise. But one more time for the international football. I think it's been great to see America host the World Cup. It's gone extremely well. I think better than anyone could have imagined. And hopefully we ended in style here with Argentina getting the win on Sunday. Go Argentina. We'll see how it goes. Thanks for joining me for another edition of the Vegas Heaters. Let's see how the rest of the guys want to close out the show.
Birmingham Racecourse Casino starting lineup. We were talking about some movies to see. What's the movie I need to go watch?
Send help.
So no, go see Hoppers. If you want to go watch a cartoon, what's the last movie you saw there, Kip?
Funny you say that. It was the Mario Brothers movie with my grandson, and man, was it a blockbuster.
Should tell you where our maturity is in this group.
That Luigi boy, he's really something.
What you got going on here at Kip Sports?
We have got some great contests coming up. When the season kicks off, we're going to have these happy hour parties every week, Legend, and we're going to let people pick their 5 best games against the spread, and we're going to give out $1,500 a week in prize money.
Wow.
And if you don't succeed, your name goes into a drawing for a second chance 3-play at the Birmingham Racecourse Casino. So there's going to be a whole bunch of ways to win.
Yeah, $1,500, 5-team parlay. You'll have 15 or 10 games to pick from every week. You pick 5 winners, $1,500 in your pocket, free of charge from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino.
Yeah, no purchase necessary.
Now, I'm trying to think who won the actual competition we had last year on this show.
Tony Khan is the winner, but it's still under protest from the Las Vegas.
Take me back, put a little fog around my head. Take me back who won the whole show.
Tony Curry went all in on the last game of the year and won the championship, but Case Keefer in Las Vegas still sideways over there.
I've been known to go in.
He led every step of the way. He was like Secretariat caught at the wire.
Well, you know what he is? He is the prototypical professional gambler. He treats it like an investment, like it's a stock market. He doesn't go in more than he's supposed to, and I treat it like a dumbass gambler. I go all in last weekend, and I get lucky. I mean, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, but I'm assuming we'll still be picking our ball games throughout the weekend as well.
Yeah, I don't know what format we'll do, but we'll certainly have picks for you every week here. And of course, you just watch Vegas Heaters. Case always has what he likes the best going into every weekend.
Yeah, let's do wins and losses this year so Tony Curry can't pull that stuff again this coming year.
Just because
let's go wins and losses and add it up at the end of the year.
You want to do?
The organizer was ultimately responsible for not really having set rules.
Whatever you want to do, my friend. Hey, since we have not mentioned it, by the way, can you give me a winner tomorrow between Argentina and Spain?
I don't care.
Oh, sorry, I dozed off there for a minute.
What? Who was that?
I got to tell you now, I'm catching the fever. I'm catching the fever.
Good grief.
I told you he had a fever.
Listen, college football is by far the best thing in the world. There's no doubt. 6 weeks away. But what Lionel Messi did this past weekend, the fact that he's getting a chance to play for another title, is pretty amazing.
How's he named Lionel from Argentina? That sounds like a professor from
he's a trained man.
Pennsylvania.
He is our Tom Brady.
Okay, let me say this. Both the semifinal matchups in prime time on Tuesday and Wednesday. Oh, yeah, they weren't in prime time. They were at 1 and 2 o'clock Eastern time in the afternoon. So it could be prime time in Europe. I don't give a damn. I don't want to watch a game on Tuesday that's 2-1 and the one the next day is 2-0. Boring, awful. Soccer sucks. I love the World Cup as an event. Soccer sucks.
Get the doctor in here. Tony mentioned soccer.
Hey, it was 9 o'clock in Buenos Aires in Bangladesh, so they have it.
Yeah, that's good for them.
We'll be back at you next week right here on the Birmingham Racecourse Casino starting lineup.
The Birmingham Racecourse Casino starting lineup. Kip Keefer, Tony Curry, the legend, and Case Keefer bring it every week.
The coaches don't like what's going on. Fella, wow. Congratulations.
Weather is a universal appeal. It affects you and everybody watching.
Because you're real, legend. You're authentic. You lived it.
From 10:30 to 11 on ABC 3340 every Saturday morning.